Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this debate on the controversial topic of Jose Rizal's alleged retraction and reconversion to Catholicism. Team Pro will argue in favor of the statement that Rizal's retraction was essential to prevent further bloodshed and promote peaceful reform with the Spanish colonial government. On the other side, Team Con will present arguments against this idea, asserting that Rizal's retraction is a symbol of waiving his loyalty to Spanish power and not a patriotic act. Let's begin with the opening statements.
Thank you, esteemed moderator. Jose Rizal's alleged retraction was a pragmatic and strategic move to prevent unnecessary bloodshed and promote peaceful reform. Rizal, being a visionary, recognized the potential consequences of his anti-Spanish writings and activism. By retracting his earlier stance, he aimed to establish a dialogue with the Spanish colonial government, facilitating a path towards more peaceful reforms for the benefit of the Filipino people.
Indeed, Rizal's retraction can be viewed as an act of statesmanship. In a time of political turmoil, Rizal understood the need to avoid further violence and foster understanding with the Spanish authorities. By choosing reconciliation over confrontation, he hoped to secure a more sustainable and less chaotic path to reform, ultimately benefiting the Filipino population.
Rizal's retraction should be seen as a strategic maneuver, not a betrayal of his patriotism. His commitment to the Filipino cause remained steadfast, but he recognized the importance of pragmatism in achieving long-term goals. When engaging in dialogue with the Spanish colonial government, he sought to lay the groundwork for peaceful reforms that would eventually lead to the Philippines' liberation.
Here is for the side of the con. While we acknowledge Rizal's brilliance, the claim that his retraction was essential for peaceful reform is a misinterpretation of his actions. Rizal's retraction can be seen as a symbol of waiving loyalty to Spanish power rather than a patriotic act. By renouncing his earlier beliefs, he may have compromised the principles of the Filipino Revolution and conveyed submission to the oppressive Spanish colonial regime. Rizal's retraction raises questions about the sincerity of his commitment to the Filipino cause. If his actions were truly motivated by a desire for peaceful reform, one would expect consistency in his principles. The retraction, however, appears more as a submission to Spanish authority rather than a strategic move to achieve genuine reform.
The symbolism of Rizal's retraction cannot be overlooked. It sends a message of compromise and submission, undermining the spirit of patriotism that characterized the revolutionary movement. If Rizal truly sought peaceful reform, there were alternative ways to communicate without sacrificing the principles that fueled the Filipino struggle for independence. The retraction remains a contentious issue, raising concerns about its impact on the perception of Rizal's commitment to the nationalistic cause.